Just like the FA Cup, here's some extra footballing content that nobody really fucking needs. Welcome back to another episode of First Time Ball. This week, we'll be looking at, of course, the FA Cup fixtures, even though I've just slated the whole competition. And then we'll be chatting wham about the transfer window once again because the Premier League is on another little stupid break and we're all very sad and we're struggling for content. But here we are, we're all back. How is everybody this week?
Not too bad.
I don't understand the FA Cup slander. What's the story with that? What's everyone's problem?
I don't understand the not slander in the FA Cup, like.
Yeah.
Well, I don't get it. It's the second biggest trophy in England.
Yeah, but
there's the Premier League
and then the FA Cup.
Yeah, there's no other trophies.
So you're telling me if Liverpool,
biggest.
Liverpool won the FA Cup, you wouldn't brag about it, no?
I'm saying that nobody gives a shit about the FA Cup until they win it.
This is the point I was making when we were talking about it before. Like, the two lads supporting teams that haven't come close to an FA Cup in the last 5 years apparently don't give a crap about it. But I can
5 years.
Actually, for Liverpool, it's probably
bragging about an FA Cup.
15.
16 years since they last won the FA Cup.
We haven't won it.
I actually looked it up. The last time Liverpool won the FA Cup was 2006, so I can see why you don't give a shit about it, because you're never going to win it at this rate. And the last time United won it was in 2016, and they actually lost to Chelsea.
So the last time United won was like...
last time United won it was when they lost to Chelsea.
The last time they won it was 2016, and then the last time they were in the final was 2017, and they lost to Chelsea. Sorry, I apologise.
I can't believe you're bigging up the FA Cup. You won the Champions League last year, and you're bigging up the FA Cup.
I'm not bigging it up, but I don't think it's a small competition. I don't think it's massive, but I don't think it's small either. I wouldn't turn down winning the FA Cup.
I don't think it's part full team out.
Well, that's...
But the thing is, no, because nobody's for a fact, 100% a fact, if Liverpool played Chelsea or United played Chelsea or vice versa, they played each other in the final, and you won the FA Cup, you'd claim it. You'd go on about how it's a great win. 100%. And I know for a fact, if Liverpool won it, you'd go on like it's a good achievement for the season. You're happy that you won the FA Cup, you won a title, you won a trophy, everyone's happy.
Oh, it's a good achievement. It's a good achievement for Leicester.
Yeah.
They won in the FA Cup. That's a good achievement.
Aston Villa,
realistically,
it would be unbelievable for the likes of them to win that.
So you're telling me you'd rather go trophyless than win an FA Cup, yeah?
No, I'm saying saying that if you won it, you'd brag about it. That's not an argument, though. If you won, no matter what, if you win anything in the whole fucking football, you're going to brag about it, like.
I'd be like, we
would. You definitely would.
Hold on, Adam.
You would at the end of the season.
The Carling Cup is the third biggest cup in England.
It's actually not. I'd say the Johnston Payne Trophy is probably bigger than the Carling Cup. Let's be realistic.
If Chelsea won the Johnston Payne Trophy and Liverpool didn't win anything, you would sit here and say, well, yeah, at least Chelsea won a trophy this season.
No, I wouldn't brag about that. I wouldn't brag about Carling Cup or Charity Shield. Those are two trophies, but the Premier League and the FA Cup would be the only two.
Well, the Charity Shield, yeah.
It's great for doubles and trebles. Like, it's great for that. It's great for that and that. Like, stick it in there with a Premier League and you have a double. But like at the end of the season, if I can't really say much. We haven't won anything. But I don't know. I don't
get where people slate it. But I guarantee you, if United or Liverpool won it, you talk about it as winning a trophy for the season. It's great that you won something, and it's better than fucking winning the Carling Cup and blah blah blah. I don't get it.
Yeah, obviously, winning things is better than not winning things, Adam.
You wouldn't brag about winning the Carling Cup and say, "Oh, we won the Carling Cup."
Adam, you wouldn't have an open top bus for the fucking FA Cup, like. You wouldn't go back to Manchester and have fucking Cristiano Ronaldo with the FA Cup at the top of the bus going, "Woohoo, lads, we've done it."
Well, now, having said that, Cristiano Ronaldo would have his own open top bus
in the FA Cup
just for him, I think, to be honest.
And I'd be there,
just for
fucking cheering him on.
He'll have an open top bus if he wins the Golden Boot, that fella, I think.
I just don't get the fucking slander in the FA Cup.
How can you say that when he's a serial winner?
What did he win last year?
But he loves them, you know.
What did he win last year?
What's he going to win
He won the cup. He won the Italian Cup with Juventus.
That's just a Mickey Mouse trophy. It's not the league, is it? It's only nice for doubles, though, isn't it? It's only good if you get to go with the league, you know.
All right. We're running in fucking circles here, okay? The FA Cup was on this week, in case you didn't notice. And there was a fucking shitload of games, which I think is my biggest. I just I don't know. I just think
way too many teams in the FA Cup. It's way too big of a competition.
There's like the biggest thing of what like commentators and like the English media and shit try to sell you on, like the magic of the FA Cup. The BBC love harping on about the magic of the FA Cup, and it's because once every 12 years a team from League Two gets a win against a bigger team. This year, Arsenal lost because they're shite, and we've been saying it for weeks. Okay, but there was so many games. Like I don't even think if we sat here and went through all the fixtures in the FA Cup that were on this week, we'd be here all day. And secondly, I wouldn't even know half the teams that are in it, to be quite honest with you. There's a team here that are through to the fourth round of the FA Cup. They beat Wimbledon the other day there, 2-0, called Boreham Wood.
Heard of them either. I was actually looking at some of the fixtures, and there's one or two teams that were in it that I haven't heard of.
Like, fair play to them, but they must be... Are they non-league, or is this their first, like...
Chesterfield.
That's... Accrington Stanley. Like,
now, if you haven't heard of Accrington Stanley,
like City...
Step it up.
There was just a lot going around. Like it's grand. I will say I like the early stages sometimes just because it's a chance to see young players get a run out for a lot of the big teams, or for Liverpool at least. Anyway, there was a lot of young lads playing. We had our second youngest goal scorer in the history of the club scored against Shrewsbury Town yesterday. Mr. Cade Gordon, shout out to him. But there's so many, like Wolves won, West Ham won, Spurs won, Stoke won, Liverpool won, Cardiff won, Luton Town came away with a big 4-0 winner. Chelsea hammered Chesterfield. Wow. Brighton beat West Brom. QPR and Rotherham went all the way to penalties and ended in an 8-7 penalty shootout thriller. What a badge of honour for the FA Cup that is. Stick that in the brochures for next season, lads. Let's fucking go. Leicester City beat Watford 4-1. Newcastle lost to Cambridge.
Shock.
Wow. Yeah, imagine Newcastle losing a game of football. That's
as bad as that
wild,
is. As bad as that is, like in embarrassing, people say, but it's probably a good thing for Newcastle. They don't need the extra games.
That's true.
Oh yeah, I mean that's fair, yeah, but you know,
it's not good for confidence when you put out a full team and get bet by.
They shouldn't be losing to Cambridge United though either.
Putting their new signing Kieran Trippier out and fucking losing. He started as well, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah, that's the kind of effect a superstar signing like Kieran Trippier brings to a side. You know, instant fucking impact makes you lose to Cambridge United in the cup. Yeah, there's a lot of games, like, and there's more. I suppose the fourth round draw, United are on at the minute. How's that looking, Shane? Shane's our eagle eye on the United game this evening.
1-0 at the minute, but Villa have looked pretty good the last couple of minutes. But
not to look good against United, though, to be fair.
Who scored for United?
McTominay scored from a Fred ball. Would you believe?
McFred strikes.
Would I believe? I wouldn't believe, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Does this mean they're good now?
No,
that's your midfield now. Gone? Were they just in the wrong?
Look, I want any United player to do well, like, but they don't. Like, you know what I mean? Like McTominay a couple of weeks ago had a Zidane game and then played shocking for like 4 more games. So like, they're not good enough. But I want them to do well, but they're not good enough. I'm trying to find this game I'm after losing here, Adam, on this legal site you're after giving me.
You mean completely legal site that I'm after giving you?
Yep.
I'm not sure what the two lads are talking about, but we'll check in with Shane as the evening progresses and see how United are getting on against Villa, because this could be a preview, because United play Villa in the Premier League at the weekend. In Villa Park, and they're Villa's marquee superstar, big time, big money, big whammy signing for January, Felipe Coutinho, not playing tonight, but he will be registered in time to make his debut against United in the league at Villa Park at the weekend. That's a hell of a fucking signing for Villa.
Signing.
It is, but it's a marketing signing though. It's not like he's gone to Aston Villa, like, and it's a name signing, like, but it's not. You know, he's well out of it. Like, he's well out of his prime. So I don't know. I think it's, to be honest, I suppose on paper, like, but like it isn't, like, you know, they're not after signing prime Coutinho, like. You know, he's been shocking for Barcelona.
He's 29 though.
Is that what he is?
So he is. He should be in his prime.
Is it going to be like a James Rodriguez?
So
like
Everton, he could.
James had a good first season, and now like he's basically dead to the Everton fans this year.
Is he still?
Yeah, I think there was
He left, didn't he?
I thought he was still there. He could be gone. I thought he was still at Everton.
Shittest podcast ever.
Well, while Adam Googles that one for us real quick. Yeah, Coutinho, look, he could turn it around though, is the thing. Like, he is still only 29, which is surprising. Like, I think as Steven Gerrard said when they asked him about Coutinho signing, this is before he signed him up, but he said, he's a serial winner, he called him. Because he had apparently won 2 La Ligas while he was at Barcelona, which seems crazy. But he did spend a couple of seasons there where he was starting, and like, he didn't set the world on fire like he did when he was at Liverpool. But
I can imagine.
I don't know if he was.
There was a long list of teams in Europe ahead of Aston Villa that you'd be expecting to go from the likes of Milan, Italy. Like, you would have expected even Juventus and likes of them to be in firm. Like, I suppose.
Would have gone back to Inter.
So
right?
It was
that way.
Yeah, well, Coutinho came from Inter originally. That's where Liverpool signed him from. Yeah, so you'd imagine they might have been in for him. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's down to Steven Gerrard then, isn't it? That's why he signed. Like, to him and Coutinho would be friends. Gerrard even said that himself. He's friends with him. Like,
he had 3 personal calls with him before he signed. So I think it was mostly.
Like, it's not that long ago.
Pull that probably got him in there.
It's not that long ago that the two of them were playing together at Liverpool. Like, realistically, it's not 100 years ago that Gerrard has retired or anything. So maybe he'll recapture the magic. I think it's a good sign for Villa that they can attract those kind of names to the club now, though, and it's not like a massive money deal or anything. Like, I mean, he's in on loan, so we'll see. Maybe they'll make it permanent. In the future, but it's a good sign for Villa that Gerrard as a manager has the ability to get players like that in, even just because he has a personal relationship with him. And I imagine there's probably a lot of other players out there that Gerrard probably could do the same thing with, to be honest. He could probably just send out a few texts and be like, what's the crack? Come to Villa.
He does seem to put a pull with his name now at the moment, doesn't he, with Coutinho, to be fair. And I think I'd say like Ings going to Villa as well. Well, like, Villa are not a small club either, to be fair. But
Digne is going there as well, apparently. He's favourite to go to Villa now.
Seen that?
Yeah.
It was like
Is it? No.
120 grand a week or something.
Or he said he wasn't interested in going to Chelsea. That's why Chelsea are looking at getting Emerson Emerson back. I was going to try and attempt to pronounce his first name, but I've already butchered it, so... So apparently Digne wasn't interested in going to Chelsea, I'm assuming, because he probably wouldn't get to play time once Chilwell and all that are back.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's favourite to go to Villa.
And he has no interest in going to Newcastle.
No, he's already said he doesn't want to go to Newcastle. Yeah.
I'd imagine, yeah.
It will be one to watch, though, Coutinho now at Villa, won't it? It'll be interesting to see how he gets on.
Because again, like you said, Villa aren't a small
club,
and they're decent, like, so I can imagine he'll probably gel fairly well. And he might add a little bit of something to them, give them a bit of a dynamic, like.
Realistically, Coutinho could very easily fill the role that Jack Grealish had when he was at the club. Like,
I could see that.
He could be that kind of, like, if they gave him sort of just a free roaming type thing in and around, like attacking midfield areas. That's Coutinho all over. And his big thing at Liverpool was that Liverpool kept trying to play him as a winger a lot of the time. He played like left wing sometimes, or he played like, up front often enough, and he didn't want to play that. He wants to play in midfield, and he wants to like be on the ball and run at teams and stuff, and that's where a lot of his best work was. So maybe, you never know, Steven Gerrard could unlock Coutinho's, because we know he has the fucking talent. Like, he was unbelievable when he was at Liverpool for those couple of seasons. Like, he's an outrageous talent. Like, whatever happened at Barcelona, things just didn't work out for him. Whether he was played out of position or he didn't gel with the manager or something just didn't go right for him. Maybe he'll come back. Maybe not. Maybe he'll fake another injury and he'll leave again, like he did the last time, because he's a rat. Sorry.
Would you have taken him back Liverpool on?
Would I have? Yeah, I would have, to be honest. I know a lot of fans wouldn't. Like, definitely there would have been, I wouldn't say uproar, to be honest with you. I think enough time has passed since he left, and even though he left dodgily enough, at the same time, if he didn't leave, we wouldn't have signed Van Dijk or Alisson.
Well,
because that's where we got the money for both of those. Because Barcelona gave us way too much money for Coutinho.
How much was he?
Turns out at the time, he was 130 million or something along those lines, with like add-ons and installments and shit. So at the time, seemed maybe like not a good deal, but like seemed appropriate for the player that he was. But in hindsight, they definitely overspent on Coutinho. I'd say so. They're still paying it off, I'm pretty sure. Like,
but it was kind of funny because then he went to Bayern and fucking ran amok in Germany. He had a good couple of seasons at Bayern. Scored twice against Barcelona while he was on loan as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
That was Champions
League. Yeah.
That was actually
just Barca. It's just Barca. It's another sign of Barca being an absolute nightmare of a club for 4 or 5 years, and
Spanish
probably still
rotten at the core,
at the minute. Like, it's just, yeah, the whole place is just riddled with crap, like, to be fair. But there's one big signing. Is there any other floating around out there? Any transfer rumors that look crazy? Not so much a transfer rumor, but kind of Mbappe to Madrid, I suppose, is the big one I've been seeing a lot over the last few days. The rumor is, first of all, so Kylian Mbappe's contract at PSG is up this summer. So he would be available on a free. But Madrid apparently don't want to wait till the summer, so they're willing to give PSG £50 million right now to sign him. And then they have a contract ready for Mbappe, and he would be on the same money as Cristiano Ronaldo was on when he was at Madrid, which is I think something like £25 million season, give or take. And that's just like his wages. There's probably bonuses and shit on top of that, which is probably like 500 grand a week, maybe 550, something like that.
Divided by 52.
It's thereabouts.
480 grand a week.
Yeah, a lot of money. Like, is he worth it?
Probably. Yeah.
Probably. To be fair, he is Kylian Mbappe, and he's probably only going to get better. Well, like, he's still, you know. Yeah, so like
a long ass time ahead of him.
Long ass time, and he's only going to get better. So it's it's a fair one. Will it happen? I don't know. I think it will happen eventually. I don't see Mbappe staying at PSG beyond this summer, to be honest. As I think it's time enough for him now to get out of there and play some real football
as well.
Yeah, for his own sake, I think. Like, he's not going to really. He's kind of hit. PSG can't take him any further, really, can they? Like, he can't even improve his own game when he's playing in the French league, because there's not really much of a challenge there for PSG. They just kind of walk through everything, and he's got Neymar and Messi alongside him. Like, he's
living in shadows constantly. Like, and I think if he wants to go, he needs to go to a club like Madrid where he can make his own name.
Well, they'll build a team around him at Madrid, because he'll be the spine of the team. They'll start with that. It'll be like Ronaldo. I'm assuming that's what they're hoping to do, is get him and do what they did to Ronaldo for 10 years, is just play the game through him.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, because who's even at Madrid these days that would even like rival him? Suppose your man Vinicius Jr. is
Eden Hazard.
Yeah, he'll go.
Vinicius Jr. He does look like an unreal talent as well, to be fair.
If I was Madrid,
Hazard, like, Benzema is there, I suppose, but he'll be finished in a couple of years too.
He'll be in fucking prison by the end of the fucking summer. I hope. Horrible.
And Hazard as well, I think, is going to be gone by Not this season, but probably the following season.
Hey, he's going to Newcastle.
I don't think so.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's the rumour.
I'll tell you who needs to get a transfer is Donny van der Beek. Like, he's on the bench again tonight versus Aston Villa in the FA Cup. He can't even get an FA Cup game. No offence, Adam. Don't be slagging off the FA Cup to you. But yeah, it's actually like they've ruined that guy's career. Like, a year and a half since we signed him for 40 million, and he's played less minutes than Phil Jones has this season. Like, who hadn't played for United in 2.5 years. So put that into context. Like,
ridiculous. He deserves so much better because he's actually a decent player. I wouldn't say he's like a world beater, but he's a talent. Like,
he deserves a chance, is what he deserves. Like, whatever, like, he deserves a chance to at least fail. Like, he's failed there and doesn't deserve it. Like, he was on the Ballon d'Or list when we bought him. I think he'd finished in the list or whatever, and he was like serious young baller. But now he's like 2 years on in his career is going to be, and you know, like, I don't know how he'll bounce back from it. Hopefully, I hope he gets to move though. He gets out here in January because they've ruined his career. Like, Ralph has not even looked at him either. Like,
where does he go?
I think Madrid, the likes of them, like, if it costs United 40 million, they won't make that back now. They can't make that back. How can they? What are they supposed to say? Well, we're going to keep him because we're playing him 6 minutes this season. Like, you know, so I reckon you'd probably get him for 25 million, which would be a steal. So the likes of Madrid and them, anyone like that should be going for him. He's not on massive wages. Like, there was talk about Newcastle, but like, he's better than going to Newcastle. Like, but
well, I tell you another United midfielder who's been in the rumour mill this week, Paul Pogba. United going to give him 500 grand a week?
They can fuck off.
Surely not.
No, honestly, they need to let him go on a free, and I don't care. You can fucking clip this now, but he needs to go on a free. If they give him 500,000 and make him the highest paid player in Premier League history, we're an absolute joke. We're fucking Disneyland for adults if we do that.
There you go. I don't think any of us can sum it up better than that one. Pogba on 500 grand a week.
It'd just be commercially though, lads.
Shane.
You know,
it's laughable. He's not even He's not even a 300 grand player. Like, I know we're talking mad money here, but he's not even he's on about 300 grand at the moment, isn't he?
But it's like
he's not even worth
you get
that
wage
much.
Increases for doing your job good. Like, you know, he hasn't been a success at United. Like, and that could be down to numerous things, not just on him. That could be on management. It could be on United itself. Numerous things, because he fucking flourishes for France. He's so good for France. But like, he hasn't done it at United. Like, and why would you give him 500,000 a week? Because they don't want to lose 60, 70 million that's put into him. And he's just commercially, I don't know, it's just a commercial thing with United, but they will, it's on the table, like, they've offered him. It's up to him to take it, so which is even worse is we're bent over waiting for him to go, will I take the highest paid Premier League or will I go somewhere else? So, like, it's even more embarrassing that he could reject United in the form he's been in.
Yeah, United are embarrassing, aren't they?
It's actually a rough time. Like, all jokes aside, it's a rough time to be a United fan.
It is at the minute. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's run like it's the worst run club in the Premier League.
And like, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter, like United fans, talking, like, there's so many people saying they've never felt so like disassociated from a United team as they do with like the current one. And like, I get it. Like, I wouldn't say Chelsea have gone through as bad of a patch like this for like a couple of seasons. Like, when we finished 10th the year Leicester won, it was probably the worst year I've had as a Chelsea fan. And I can only imagine what it's like as a United fan having to do it. Obviously, you're not finishing 10th every season, but I mean, like, having the same shit every year with managers, players, and going through the run of the mill.
Well, it's the players that gets me. Like, we've been into Solskjaer, like, and he wasn't good enough, like, but he wasn't fully the problem either. Like, the players are just rancid. They're not good enough, and they think they're good enough, and that's the problem. Like, there's too many players there that wouldn't get into a top 8 club. Like,
who are you looking to? Who would you want gone first? Like, if you could kick one person out in the morning, who would it be?
If I had to kick someone out in the morning, Harry Maguire probably. Like, Phil Jones in my eyes is a better defender than Harry Maguire, and that's not dissing Phil Jones.
Playing tonight?
No, he had another injury. He just can't catch a break. Like,
Lindelof and Varane.
Yeah, like, Maguire is, like, the fact that he's captain and like the likes of Maguire, the likes there's just too much. Like Rashford's not good enough either. Like there's just too many players in there that like McTominay, Fred. Like, can you imagine them getting into the team with Roy Keane or Paul Scholes? You're gonna say Paul Scholes their own, but like it's just they're not United players. They're not even near. They'd be lucky to be getting in a United squad. They should be lucky to be getting in the United squad. But
you're right, yeah. Paul Scholes would be lucky.
No,
sorry,
no.
Sorry. I just couldn't resist. I couldn't resist.
Really, like, it's just like there's. Do you know there's? There's been leaks all this week again about United, like about the players and talking about the player rates and not happy with the manager. Like the manager's there 37 days, 40 days now, whatever it is, and they're slagging him off and not happy with that. Like they're just a bunch of whinge bags. Like, and the thing is, they're all talking about like the level at United, but they're all getting paid like a couple of $100,000 a week to do their job that they're not doing. Whatever about playing for Manchester United, like they've actually a job that they're not doing. They're just a fucking joke and so frustrating to watch. Like I'm going over in April to see him play, and I'm just like, what's the point? Like they're just, it'd be different if I think he's better off putting out youngsters, put out all the youngsters, put out whoever wants to play and finish off the season like that. What's the point of playing people that think they're too good?
Well, we did say we'd check in with Shane on how United are doing as the show progresses. And there you go. It's fucking miserable over there. We'll move on to the next topic then, I suppose. Transfers. We're sticking with transfers, but Newcastle, of course, we can't talk transfer window without talking about Newcastle because they have more money than God. And who are they going to sign? They brought in Trippier. We all agreed last week that it's a fucking nail on the head. It's exactly the type of signing you think Newcastle would make. But who else can they sign? I suppose we'll take a look at it. If anybody has any thoughts they want to throw out of players that Newcastle realistically could sign. Not that they will. We're not saying this is going to happen or anything, but players that are actually realistic. We're not going to sit here and say, three signings that Newcastle can make to save their season. Well, they should sign Kylian Mbappe, Lionel Messi, and Tony Cruz or something. Like, we're being realistic. That's never going to happen. What about you guys? Any thoughts on this? Any players Newcastle could realistically sign?
Ross Barkley.
Yeah. Ross Barkley.
No, I genuinely think you'd be a good signing for them. That's his level.
This segment is just going to turn into us going, Newcastle, here's some players at our clubs that are shite. It'd be good. It'd be perfect for you, all right? I'd like to offer you Nat Phillips, Newcastle. You can have him. Go ahead, sir. No, that's rude. I like Nat Phillips.
Shane said it, because I think he'd be a fantastic signing for them. He's just exactly the kind of player they're looking for. He's not terrible. Again, he'd be like Kieran Trippier. He's getting on in football in terms, like, but he's not a bad player at all. Like, he'd do bits for them. Like, the season he had with West Ham, I think he could carry on and do the same at Newcastle. But I think, like, I was a bit over-exaggerating with, like, Ross Barkley. He is a terrible footballer, but he's not championship standard. But I would put him in with Newcastle. I think that would be his level. He's relegation fodder standard. But I think Newcastle would be a good move for him because he's not getting played at Chelsea. He played against Chesterfield and was fucking brutal. So if he's going to play bad against a non-league side, I don't think he should be.
They'd be good. He should wait until next season because Newcastle will be in the championship then, and then he'd be perfect for them.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Be smart about it. What about, here, I'll throw one out here. Aaron Ramsey.
Yeah. Premier League experience.
He's 31, proven in the Premier League, not having a great time with it since he went to Juventus, and he's available probably cheap enough or on loan to begin with. The same as Trippier. Trippier's not on loan, but ignore that. I didn't say that. He was brilliant when he was at Arsenal, to be fair to him. I hated him because he was
so good.
He shouldn't have been allowed to be that good, yeah. But like, yeah, he's 31, so he's right, same age as Trippier is the same age as well. So they're kind of tail end of their careers. They went out foreign, not having a great time. Now the thing with Ramsey is he's probably on a lot of money at Juve. I'd imagine he's on big wages, so it's probably comes down to if he'd be willing.
Take a wage cut.
I don't know if Newcastle are going to bring in Aaron Ramsey and put him on 250 grand a week or something. He probably would have to take a wage cut, but I think maybe he's the type of player they could get. He would definitely improve the team.
Yeah.
He's clearly miles better than anybody they have in midfield at the moment. You know.
But I think like with a midfield signing like him, they need to bring in another midfielder. Because I think like. No, go ahead, Nora, you can say. Would Southampton?
Yeah, he's one that
yeah, I suppose.
I think I think he's James Ward-Prowse is 27 now, I think, so he's hitting the peak of his career. I think he would look for a move away from Southampton. Just because of where he's at in his career. Realistically, Southampton are they're not going to get any better really than this time. It would take a lot, take something special for Southampton to push for Europe or anything like. He's a good player. He's solid. He's reliable. He can pitch in with a few goals from set pieces. Like, he is an unreal free kick taker. That one probably comes down to if Southampton would be willing to sell them to Newcastle, because they're kind of down in around the same area. So then it's maybe money, and do Newcastle want to throw? If Southampton turn around and say, yeah, you can have him for 40 million, Newcastle go, no, thanks. I don't think they'd spend that much money on him. Yeah. True. Yeah. What are you saying, Adam?
What do you mean? You just put me on the spot there. You scared
James
the shit out of me.
Ward-Prowse or anybody, or anybody else? Any other signings Newcastle could make?
I actually can't even remember the point I was going to make beforehand, to be quite honest. It slipped my mind completely. I was probably just talking about how Ross Barkley is just perfect for Newcastle. I just couldn't see him going. Or who was it, your man for West Ham? Oh my god. His name is after. If they offered the right amount of money, they probably could. Jared Bowen, is that? Am I right with saying that?
Jared Bowen, yeah, he's
couldn't see him going to any of the.
being linked he's been linked with Liverpool.
Will Liverpool pay that money for him?
Like,
after one season?
A lot lately. I don't know. That's the thing. It's down to, like, if he goes to Liverpool, he's clearly backup as well. He's not gonna he's not gonna get in the team over Salah or Mane or anybody. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's more just that Liverpool need backup to those players, so they're going to be linked to a load of random players that play in similar positions, like, across the place. So, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, 100%.
Surely, if they knew he was available. Yeah.
Like the wages.
Because even Villa aren't even paying all of Coutinho's wages. I think they're only 65%.
65%, and he took the 35% from Barcelona. He told them to keep it.
Jesus.
He's probably still on like 300 grand a week though.
The way Barcelona were throwing out wages, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I'd say he probably was on 300 grand a week, so he's probably getting about 160 or 170 off Villa. I'd say that's a lot for Villa, isn't it? If that's what they are paying him.
Probably will be their highest earner now.
Would he have been on 300 grand at Barca?
I'd say so.
Thereabouts. Yeah, he must have been. Yeah, I mean, they signed him for absolutely ludicrous money. Like, he had to be on.
He was on 8.68 million a year.
Oh, it's not overly. That's not that much actually. Well,
yeah, that's pennies, man. I found that in the back of the couch.
They're paying 125,000. They're paying him. Villar. So
slight wage cut then, yeah.
Who was Barca's highest paying player? Gerard Piqué, 28 million a year. That's shocking.
I thought Newcastle would be doing more, to be honest.
I wonder who they'll go for defensive. It's all well and good buying all these defensive or these looking at these attacking players, but they're going to need more than fucking Trippier to fix their defense.
Well, I'll tell you a player they could sign, and it's in an attacking position again, though. Steven Bergwijn, Spurs. Young enough, 24, doesn't get too much of a look in at Spurs, but he's a good player, talented. I think they could get him off Spurs for 20-25 million.
Fuck Spurs.
Lob him in there. Bergwijn on one side, Alan Saint-Maximin on the other. Two donkeys. Go for it. Realistically, they could get anybody for anything at this point. Yeah, I don't know. It'll take a lot. I still think clearly Kieran Trippier is not enough. They're not just going to get through it with just signing Kieran Trippier. He's not going to carry the team in his back. That just ain't him.
He ain't that kind of player. You ain't got the facilities for that.
Yeah. You got the facilities for that, big man. Well, there you have it. There's a bunch of signings we've thrown out there. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Leave a comment on our Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. We like TikTok. Throw us in there. Just let us know some signings you think Newcastle could make that would save their season. And be realistic, all right? Don't go crazy here. We realize, be realistic. Be realistic, I mean, don't say Mbappe. And don't say Ibrahimovic or something either. I know he's like 40, but like, really, come on. They're not going to sign Ibrahimovic, are they? No, they're not. Shut up. And that's it from us, I think, for this week. Unless you guys have anything else. But I think, we've just about covered it.
Next week. Thank
God. Back. Thanks be to Jesus. We're back with the Premier League next week. Thank God. And we will see you guys then and there, ready for some more Premier League fixtures and some more nonsense chat about football. Until then, stay good. Talk to you in the next one.
Love you. Now here's Rooney. Oh my goodness!